Welcome to this special evening with Joe Pass. My name's Don Mock, and we're here at Musicians Institute in Hollywood, and we're right here in the performance room where tonight Joe's going to play a concert and give a special seminar. You know, there's a lot of excitement and anticipation here amongst the guitar students. Joe hasn't been to the school for a couple years, and they're looking forward to what I'm sure is going to be a great evening of music. Now, it's early in the day still, and we're expecting Joe to arrive any minute now for a short rehearsal with drummer Joe Porcaro and bass player Bob Magnusson. And right after that, we'll have a chance to sit down and talk to Joe about his incredible career as being one of the world's leading jazz guitar players. Then we'll come back for the concert and the seminar, and we'll put you in the front row. You'll get a chance to hear Joe play and answer some questions from the students about his incredible playing techniques. So I think he's coming now. Let's go say hello to Joe. I think we got a couple of those.
Just the one.
Oh, that's
I mean, I lost mine, so I took the one that was in the laying there.
Right. Well, we'll get you.
Actually, a half a pick. This is it. I've just never stopped doing it. It's like security or something. I have to have a half a pick, you know. So I break them always in half and use them.
Right.
They probably have a real good sound system here, you know? And I don't know why I can't go direct.
Well, I don't know why not either.
You know, and those are the speakers. And don't you have speakers out there? Yeah, I mean, and then they can just mix me. I like to be flat. As long as these guys can hear me, that's enough. I would like to try that.
Okay.
Hey, Owen.
What class? Rock LPW.
You got some reverb on there? Is that too much bass?
Well, the first thing I think people are going to notice when they watch you play tonight is there's no guitar amplifier up there.
Yeah, I'm using a direct box, and I have been for the DI box for the last couple of years. And I just go through the house system, whatever the house is. If I'm in a good room with a good system, I have a good sound. If I'm in a bad room with a bad sound system, I have a bad sound. But I sacrifice that because I don't want to carry any stuff around with me. So
Now, is that from years in the studio where you used to just play direct into the, or you used amps in the studios, didn't you?
Yeah, I used amp always.
Polytone amplifiers?
Always, yeah, polytone, always. I just started getting tired of carrying an amp, you know, at the airport and this and that, and then I started using direct box because the sound came out in the room. It sounded bigger. You sound. Because I would play with an amp and I sounded like I was just coming out of here where the amp was, which is speaker, a 12-inch speaker. That's what you got. You put a mic in front of it still. But when you hear the sound coming from the left side and the right side, And a lot of players say, but don't you feel uncomfortable because it's like the sound is far away, there's a delay. I like that.
Yeah.
The worst thing you want to hear is yourself in your ear real loud. Huh?
For sure, I agree.
You know how that feels?
I know, I like that ambient sound of the room.
Room
Yeah.
sound. I mean, some guys play with the amplifier right in back, standing up here on a chair.
Yeah.
You could hear every glitch, every little, and who wants to hear that? One tune.
Gentlemen of the orchestra.
How are you doing?
Good to see you, Joe.
Nice to see
How
you.
you been doing?
I'm okay.
How's
Pretty
things
good.
in Germany?
Yeah, they're good. You know,
Good.
good. We might try that.
Okay.
What's that?
We'll play this as a
Is this
ballad.
Dizzy Gillespie?
Yeah, but it's not hard. It's easy.
That's real good.
Come rain or come shine. We try this. Try this. I will play one solo.
Yeah, blues with the bridge. Blues with the bridge? Basically.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
no,
like this.
I'm sorry, no, it's not.
It's like this.
You want to do that for me?
Yeah. No, there's an intro, but I'm not going to play it because I don't remember it.
That's a good reason why.
Something like I don't remember it. 1, 2, right on it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you know, the tag is in the first chorus
And never.
and the last chorus.
And the last chorus.
Yeah, it's a little
Okay.
tag. The plan is that we play, you're not playing just keeping time for me. I mean, we're just playing together. So if you feel like going like that, you do that. And if you know, and if I jump in on your, while you're playing
Yeah, that
solo,
was
so
nice
what,
what
you
you
know?
did with him,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I don't want like a rhythm section, just like playing time for me and waiting for your solo, you know?
Yeah.
Like the other guy. I just want to play, hey, whatever, you know, I don't care. I'm just doing, I'll give you.
You were telling me this is a new guitar you got from Gibson.
Yeah, I endorsed Gibson, and they made this one for me. And it's not one that they, it's not on the market.
Is it a model number that we'd recognize?
No,
Is it one of the L line?
no, it's not a model number. It just says master model, and it has a serial. It has a number, but it's like a lot of numbers. It's not any, no. And I told them like I would want the neck a certain way, like this, sort of flat in the back, around, and not. And I said to put the pickup up here, and I said no other pickups.
Right.
This is like on like a 175.
It is. It's a little thinner though. I noticed it's
Yeah,
quite a
thinner.
bit-
I also asked for thinner,
Right.
and that's it. I lowered the action because I play solo and I play with my fingers, but now I'm playing with these guys. That means I have to play. I have to play harder, you know. I have to dig in, and when the action is low, it's like.
But doesn't it
spaghetti.
feel harder to play now with
No,
an
no.
action string guitar?
No, better. I might even raise it some more.
Raise it more. And make it sharp. Just retune it.
That's good, man. Different. I mean, man, it's getting hot up here. I quit.
Boiling
I
hot up
quit,
here.
man.
There's a little
Jeez.
stuff to
Give me
drink.
a break. You have any diet?
We got all kinds of stuff. Becky set you up back here.
Where's Becky? I haven't seen Becky in a long time.
Well, it's great to hear you play. You've rehearsed with the band now, Bob Magnusson and Joe
Yeah,
Porcaro.
yeah.
Sounded real good so far.
We rehearsed. Yeah, we sort of rehearsed. I don't like to rehearse. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, honest, I hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know it's not right because when I played a lot with Oscar Peterson, you know, for about 10 years, and he never rehearsed, never. We had one time got together and just ran down a few tunes in his house, and ever since then we never. It was just like he would call tunes and just play them. Sometimes he wouldn't even tell you what they were. But the point about it was that you. I don't know why he didn't rehearse. So I got that habit from him. But I've never been one to rehearse.
Well, I've always wanted to ask you about you've played.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Thanks, Joe.
I mean, you've always played a combination of solo guitar playing. In fact, a lot of solo guitar playing. It's funny. Here's my two favorite solo guitar players here. That's Joe Diori over there. If we get a shot of Joe.
Yeah.
And Joe Pass. I mean,
Yeah.
between these two guys, I don't think there's a drummer bass player alive that needs to play with them. But have you always played solo guitar? Did you start years ago, back in the 50s, 60s?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I try to figure out how I did it. But anyway, when I was very young, my father used to call me down when he had guests, guys sitting around drinking wine and playing cards with him and that. And after they got through with that, he would call me down to say, play something for these guys, because he was like, you know, I could play. I was like 14 already playing. And I mean, I was alone. I had to play songs. I had to play a tune. I couldn't play a scale or exercise. So I started playing little Italian songs. And then at one period in my life, I was alone. I was the only guy that could play anyway. And so I always had to play for people, and there was never anybody to play with. So I had to play kind of myself.
It also gave you an incredible repertoire of just knowledge of tunes.
Tunes, because I listened to a lot of tunes, and I played with, when I was very young, I played with a lot of older guys, right? And they played all the tunes.
I didn't even recognize half the tunes you play.
They played all the tunes because those were the tunes that were popular of the day, and they are now standards.
Right.
You know, so I was playing Body and Soul and Begin to Begin and Night and Day, and I was 13 years old. Those were the tunes that everybody played.
And you started by just learning tunes.
Yeah.
Did you learn the chords and the melody, or
Well,
just the melody?
I learned just from playing with other people, and I learned because my father would always say, "Play something," you know. And he was tough, you know. He didn't play anything, but I had to play something. And every time I played, he would say, "Fill it up, fill it up."
Oh.
Meaning, like, don't leave any space.
Right.
So I was like,
Because that's what you're really good at doing, of course.
filling it up.
is
Yeah, I'm better at fills than I am at.
We call those, what is the term? Like, I'll think of it in a
What?
minute. Virtuoso fills. That's
Yeah,
what we
yeah,
call,
right,
when we
yeah.
talk about you.
Yeah, yeah.
You play the melody, then you do
And
these
the
amazing
little
fills.
Fills, yeah.
Yeah.
And they connect up the melody
Right.
with the secret to filling something up is not playing arpeggios or playing runs. It's actually playing runs, but it's actually like making sure that you make the connection to the next phrase. So it isn't like if you play a note and then you're on G, so now you play a fill. It's not that.
Right.
It's got to go
With the melody.
to the next bar.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like ba 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 ba.
Right.
It's anyway.
Well, speaking of those tunes, you guys rehearsed. What are you going to be playing tonight?
I can't tell you.
You're going to just call some things off the top of your head?
Yeah.
Well, that's,
Yeah.
that's kind of the way it is, isn't it, in jazz?
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's more comfortable that way. A lot of times you pick the wrong thing, but so what? What are you going to do? I mean, I've been playing a lot with my fingers, so that you know, when you play with your fingers, a lot of the playing is with the left hand.
Sure.
It's slur, hammer, pull off. You get a what's that? Not like a saxophone feeling. What is
Legato.
that? Legato
Yeah,
feeling.
yeah.
You get a nice legato feeling. Now, when you switch to the pick, you have to make a little adjustment. It takes maybe 5 minutes or 10
Sure.
minutes because suddenly it's different. And I didn't discover that until maybe a year or so ago. I thought I could just pick up the pick and play.
But you've always done both. I remember years ago you playing with the fingers and the
Yeah,
pick. But
yeah.
I think some of the electric type records that I have of yours, it's mainly pick.
Pick, yeah,
Some of
yeah.
When the Ella Fitzgeralds call you and they want you to accompany them, you used to do a lot of that.
Yeah.
Is that, what'd that feel like for you to accompany singers or a horn player or something?
Oh, I like it.
We don't think of you as that. We think of you as a,
Yeah,
as
I like
featured
it.
artist. But
I like it. No, I like it. I mean, it was an opportunity for me to play with people that when I was a kid, they were well-known stars. I mean, and here I am now. I've played with Ella for on and off for 10 years, and Oscar Peterson, and Dizzy Gillespie, and it was like a real surprise and a thrill for me, really. I mean, Norman Granz was responsible for that, putting me with these people, and I always felt that
that's right.
that I didn't. They were like icons, you know. And I mean, how did I fit in there? You know, who's this guy? And he said, "Well, if you couldn't play, you wouldn't be there."
That's.
I mean,
obvious.
that's just. But I still don't accept that. I mean, I always felt that it was lucky of me, and I also feel that I never realized until lately to realize that this playing the guitar and music is a gift that I've gotten from God, you know.
Well,
and it's not like I'm lucky or nobody in my family played anything. It has to be a gift, and that's what else. I mean, and I have to now say that I thank God for the gift. I mean, I
No, we
never
all
thought
do.
of it. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you do this? I mean, I didn't go to GIT.
I know.
There wasn't any when I was there.
I know that's what obviously is the amazing thing is we have so much technical help nowadays to learn to play, and you learn to play. You know, I'm not sure of the years, 40s, 50s.
I started in 1939.
Yeah.
And I've been playing a long time. And there were a lot of guys that learned. I mean, all the guys before the advent of schools and technology and all that learned to play kind of through experience. Most of them. I mean, I had some books. I had like a Nick Lucas book.
Yeah.
And I had a classical book called Carcassi Method, which was a very good book, but I couldn't go. I could only go about 30 pages, and then it got hard. And
Yeah. Well, a lot of records in? A lot of listening to...
I had no record player.
Really?
No, I used to go down to a music store and that were selling instruments. In those days, there were no record stores. Instrument stores.
Yeah,
They
yeah, of
sold
course.
pianos, and everybody played steel Hawaiian guitar, like like this, you know? Like this.
Yeah,
Those little.
sure.
That was.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's plywood.
He didn't hurt it.
No. Anyway, and so the music store sold instruments, and they had a little section with records, and you would buy a Perry Como record, or, you know, Three Sons record. And where I lived in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, the guy who worked in the store liked jazz, so he would order one jazz record, and nobody bought it, but we all went down and listened to it.
Oh, you
So-
listened to it at the store?
Yeah, at the store, yeah.
Jeez.
And that's when I heard Charlie Parker, a record called Show Enough.
Oh, yeah.
And when I heard that, I said, wow, this is for me.
Did you think, I'd like to do that on guitar? Like to
Oh,
sort
I
of-
just wanted it. I just did it. I mean,
Yeah.
I just took me and a friend of mine. Somehow he had a little portable record player, and we got a whole record and copied the piece. Took us like hours, 8, 9 hours, and but I liked it so much that I sort of wanted to play like a horn player. So I avoided all kinds of guitar cliches. I mean, I never played,
Yeah.
and I never did. And I never did any Charlie Christian.
You really did? You
Never,
did. Did
never.
you ever see him play or meet him? Or
No,
anything?
no.
Yeah.
I never copied anything that Charlie
Yeah.
Christian played. I can't play any of his solos. I don't know how they go.
Yeah.
But I know some of the charts, you know.
Sure.
And I never copied any of Django Reinhardt's, though I had heard him and I knew. But I copied Charlie Parker, and I copied.
Do you remember how you actually did it? Do you remember sitting with a record player?
Yeah,
and putting
what's
that
with a
needle on
record?
and
Oh, yeah.
You'd take it off real quick and try to emulate it?
That's like I got rhythm thing.
Sure, yeah, I guess
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. The thing about it is, I would have to go put the record on.
Yep.
It took us hours.
Did you
I
know
mean-
the changes to the tune first?
Yeah,
Always?
yeah, I could hear. I
Yeah.
could hear the changes, and I listened a lot to bass players and piano players. And if I heard harmonies on a certain tune that I liked, I would find out what it is, you know. And I did that. So, and I listened a lot to Nat King Cole, because when I was growing up in the music, he was the biggest trio around, the Nat King Cole
Right.
trio. On the jukeboxes, on the radio, you heard Nat King Cole, Sweet Lorraine, Straighten Up and Fly
Good
Right.
piano player.
Great piano player. He was a teacher for all the guys that came after him. He would have been, he was, but he had Oscar Moore and Irving Ashby. He had bass and piano. Everything they played was complicated. I mean, it wasn't like, okay? So if you wanted to play Sweet Lorraine, you had to learn a lot of chord changes. It wasn't like 3 chords, you know. But if you turned the radio on, that's what you heard.
We were talking about some piano players, and I guess you played all those years with Oscar Peterson, and me being a music teacher here at this school, we're always dealing with, all the students are always hot to learn to want to burn, play a lot of notes, but
Yeah.
we also emphasize a lot of rhythm guitar playing and playing chords. But the problem occurs, like, what do you do when you're playing with a piano player? You have been in a lot of situations
Yeah.
with a piano, and you both sometimes comping for a singer.
I get that question.
I know you do.
all the
I know,
time.
and it's the
There's no
obvious
answer
question.
to that question, actually. I mean,
And you do it well because you are smart, right? You listen.
you have to listen.
Yep.
That's all. You have to listen and never play any big fat 6-string chords until it's the end of the song.
Yeah.
You know.
What did
And-
Oscar Peterson have to say about it?
Well, he liked guys that went, you know,
Just
like
almost keeping time, right?
like Freddie Green. He liked that, but I don't do that, and I never liked it. And I think it's not good to do on electric guitar
Yeah.
because it's a muddy sound. So I just comp. fortunately for me, Oscar and I come out of the same harmonic bag because we play from the same music, the music of our time. So, and I know the harmonies I play are pretty similar, almost identical with the harmonies that he plays.
Yeah.
So I don't have a big problem there. But I always tell a student, if you're playing with a piano player, wait for the turnaround. First of all, don't play any big 6-string chords. Play inside chords. Play chords that are neutral, notes that are neutral for a while, like this. Okay, that could be C, that could be G7, that could be an F. That could be a lot of things. Could be E, it could be A. Little couple things. And then when you know the chord is going to be C, you put a nice chord on, okay? So you watch, you play inside and 2 little note chords, you know, until you hear it. And then wait for, because every keyboard player and every harmonic player has their own, what they like. Some guys like, some guys like, some guys like, some guy like, I mean.
Do they do it the same consistently?
Yeah, on every song they play.
So you learn.
You say, you know the pattern. Some guys go chromatic, some guys like a lot of raised 9s, some guys like E minor 7 to A7, and the guys like E minor 7 flat 5. If you listen to when the turnarounds come in the song, you hear what the guy likes, because that's where he does all his stuff. That's like a little clue. It's not a big deal, but
makes sense. But now when you're soloing, though, you're gonna play on it. What if you're not exactly in agreement with the kind of comping they're doing? I mean, you expect them to listen to you and.
No, they don't listen to piano players anyway.
That means piano players don't listen to guitar players?
No, they don't listen to you. Are you kidding? I mean, you're just a guitar player. What are you?
Just a guitar player.
Yeah, you know. I mean, you don't know anything about chords.
No,
I mean, you know.
that's
So, yeah. Well, I mean, I try to fit with whoever I'm playing with, you know, and sometimes you're playing on a dominant and they're playing a minor 7.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of that in blues and a lot of types of progressions.
So
you just make it work.
Make it work. Yeah, you have to make it work. You know, when in doubt, play chromatic. Slide. Play. But I think the real key is that you have to keep your ears open. You have to listen, and you have to fit with the guy. If the piano player, if you know more about harmony than he does, you cannot change him. And he's got you beat with 88 keys. So the thing for you to do is to make something out of what he does. Make him sound good. Then you'll have fun, and so will he, you know.
Well, we'll let you get ready to play, and I just want to thank you for coming in and doing this. And,
thank you, Don. It's always great to talk to you.
We'll go relax and put you up on the stage and play all the good notes that you know.
I hope. Listen, I've never made anything without a glitch or a mistake in it. That's my trademark.
Well, that's what makes it live, right?
Yeah, it's the truth.
I mean, you play live whether you're in a studio. I mean, that's.
Yeah, my records are all like that. I'll be playing along, all of a sudden you hear, what's that? Guys have copied it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, honest, I'm telling you.
I understand. Joe Pass, of course, one of the finest solo jazz guitar players in the world. He'll be playing some solo pieces tonight, but he's also going to be playing with 2 of our top players here at the school, and you know them well. Joe Porcaro playing drums. Joe. And playing the big, tall, upright bass, none other than Bob Magnusson. There he is. And of course, the one and only, all I can do is introduce one of the greatest living jazz guitar players to ever touch those 6 strings. This is Joe Pass.
What did he mean by living? I mean, yeah.
That was a piece called Satin Doll, kind of a standard Duke Ellington piece, and Duke Ellington is one of our great American jazz composers. And on the break in the beginning, I played. That's for all you fast guitar players. I'm only joking. Only joking. I used to like to play fast, now I don't. That's a piece called You Don't Know What Love Is. And this is my ending. That's something I learned from the rock bass players.
So Joe, what jazz songs right now are really popular with audiences, especially if maybe they're not paying attention, you want to grab their attention?
Well, I mean, I don't know. There are a lot of standard songs that are popular with audiences. Generally, wherever I play, in festivals or clubs, you always have people that ask for Misty, or Stella by Starlight, or Wave, or Giant Steps. People that ask for Giant Steps don't really know what they're asking for. You know, they just heard the name Giant Steps, and they say, yeah, Giant Steps. Hey, play Giant Steps. It's like some kind of a test, you know, contest, you know. So I play it as a waltz or bossa nova, so I don't have to work so hard. But they ask for the ones I mentioned, you know, generally. Very few ask for anything by Charlie Parker. They ask for songs from Duke Ellington. In Europe, they ask for more standard songs. All the Things You Are, Cole Porter music and that. But probably the songs that you like are the ones that they ask for. Satin Doll, they always ask for that. As soon as you play, you get applause. I'm only joking. I played it because it is something that you sort of recognize. And I think one should play for the audience too. I mean, you don't have to play down to them, but you can play a cowboy song and improvise on it and play good things. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything that's really complicated and difficult to communicate. So I think you should play with the ear towards the audience. You know?
Okay, here you go.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Could you explain and demonstrate your 5-position caged
Oh yeah, gee.
and how you visualize and apply it in a 2/5 situation?
How do I visualize what?
In a 2/5 situation, how you...
2/5. What's a 2/5? Wait a minute. I
That's it.
I have 2/5 is like a D minor G7. That's like a 2/5,
Well, when
right?
you play tunes, basically.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm not teasing you or anything. I learned by like chords, you know, like C and F and G, and then I had students, and the students started telling me, yeah, that's a 2, that's a 1, and a 5, and I said, what kind of? So I found out what that was, you know, sort of. But don't ask me about modes because I don't know anything about them, and that's it. Okay. 2/5. Well, anyway, the way I do it is these are what I call them folk chords or country chords or power chords. You know what I see. But anyway, this is a form. This is C form. And if you had a bar, they're all bar forms. If you had a bar here, this is where the bar would be. And this is C form of C. And this is the A form. C. And this is the G form. C, A, G. And this is the E form. And this is the D form. Okay, these are all bar chords, meaning that here's the C form of C with a bar, which is above the neck, the nut. Here's the C form, A form of C. Here's the bar. Here's the G form of C with the bar. Here's the E form of C with the bar. And here's the D form of C. So the D form and the C form are the same. So here's like C, A, G, E, D spells the word caged. If you can play off of 3 forms, you can play all over the guitar. If you want to play in D flat, you just move up. If you want to play in D, here. If you want to play in D flat, if you want to play in D flat, you move up. You move those bar forms up. They are all bar forms. They're very simple to play. What they do is anchor you. You know where you are. For instance, you're in a C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, G, C. C, F, B flat, E flat, blah, blah. You can play in every key in one place. And you can play minors and majors and everything in one place using the bar forms. They're sort of like anchors. They're sort of like give you a picture of the neck. And then she wanted to know something about how I play what is it? The 2/5. So 2/5 is D minor and G7. D minor or any minor to a dominant. First of all, I'll tell you, if I have a 2/5, forget the 2. You don't need it. Why are you playing the 2? What is it like? If you played a 5, that got the 2. Here's the scale for the 5. It's a G7th. Here's a scale for the 2. It's the same scale, different note. So I found out a long time ago that, or I don't know how I found out, I just did it. I don't know. I don't remember. But anyway, don't have to think about the 2. Don't think of it as separate, 2 separate chords. It's just a 5 chord that counts. When you learn a song, you must learn the song really simple. You know, like if I play Stella by Starlight in the key of B flat, the first chord is A7. Second chord is F7. The third chord is B flat 7. Next chord is E flat. Next chord is E flat minor. B flat. I mean major, minor, or dominant. You must look at chord changes really in the simplest way you can look at them. Don't complicate them in your mind like it's an E minor 7 with a flat 5, and then it's an A7 with a raised 5, and then it's a, I mean, you just, those things you hear and you play. But basically in your mind, the first chord is A7. But that's it. Not E minor, A7, even though that's what the book says.
Could you give us some tips about chord melody?
Yeah, chord melody, okay. Yeah, first of all, I keep the melody on the top strings, at least the E, B, or G string. It wouldn't make any sense to play a melody down here. Say, pick a tune like, what would be a tune up? Misty. I mean, what's that? I mean, what, you know, so, I mean, common sense tells you don't voice that way. I mean, so automatically, okay, you start, okay. I play the melody, and I, as I say, I add color. You can go like this. You can go, or you can go. There's different ways you can go. You can always move a half step into the chord. So that's D to E flat with the E flat root. This is the 9th in here. So if I have a B flat 7th chord, I put maybe 11 in it, or sus. Too much. Sometimes people reharmonize things, especially guitar players, and they have like 10 chords in 2 beats. You know, I mean, it doesn't do nothing. You know, it's just like showing like you got all this movement, but you can't play on it. You're too busy. I simply add color tones to my chords. You know, you can play that. You can play. The difference between that is. Those are just added sounds. And you don't need a chord on every melody note that you play. You don't have to go. I mean, you're killing yourself for no reason. I mean, why not just go like this? I don't play no chords. I just, because when you play a chord, the sound is there. It's heard it's heard. You hear it, and the harmony stays. You don't have to go. You don't have to go. I mean, you make a lot of work. The object in playing guitar, solo, melodies is to make music and not to make hard work. I mean, you want to be free to be able to play and not to be free to try to see how hard you could make it, you know? And I always keep voice movements in my chords, voice movements. You don't play. You have to. That's a movement. You always have motion. When you're, especially if you're playing solo guitar, you got to have motion. You got to have something that sounds like it's moving, you know. You don't play the chords like bink, bunk, bunk, and then wait, or play a fill that doesn't go anywhere. I found out that you have motion. And a lot of people think that you're playing like bass notes at the same time you're playing chords, at the same time you're playing melody, and it's not like that. It's an illusion. you're playing a bass note. Sometimes you're playing a chord, sometimes you're playing the melody most of the time, and you're filling. So it's all done by doing something with motion. If you try to play a bass note and a chord on every beat, you'll be working for 8 months on one song. And then once you learn it, that's the only way you're going to play it.
Good evening, Joe. Sounds fantastic.
Thank you.
If you wanted to take an up-tempo song such as in a mellow tone or something, and you wanted to reharmonize it to give it a darker sound, how would you go about doing that? Are there any general rules you follow to reharmonize a song?
Reharmonize it.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't really reharmonize. That's the song goes. You can use certain forms to reharmonize it. You can go. That's pretty good. You can do substitution. You can use. You can always move a half step into a chord, or you can always move a half step above a chord. You can always play the flat five. There are a few little things that you can do. That tune I wouldn't reharmonize because why? It's a tune that goes. So what do you reharmonize? It gets. I wouldn't reharmonize. I would play that tune just the way it goes. It's kind of a swing tune, you know, unless you were going to play it as a real slow ballad or something.
Yeah.
But I don't really reharmonize tunes. I add color tones to my chords. If I have a ninth chord, or if I have a dominant seventh chord, I don't play a dominant seventh chord. I don't play, see, that happens to be here. Okay. Chord is A flat. Well, I wouldn't play that. I'd play some 6/9 or a 13 or a 11 or something. I would not play the simple chord. I always add a color tone, a ninth, a 13th, a raised 9, a flat 9, and I also try to harmonize by keeping a voice movement in my chord. Something like that, you know.
Is there
Yeah.
anything that you can say to sort of simplify, because the infinite possibilities involved in jazz blues, and
Yeah, sure.
what to do, you know?
I don't know. I mean, first of all, a lot of chords, I call them grips, chords. If you look at them, they dictate melodies to you. I mean, certain. I mean, a lot of the things you want to play, the jazz lines that are heard and played, are right in the chord. They're right around your fingers, you know. And so that's one thing. Second of all, I don't play the chord and then play scales. It is better to play than to play. If it's what you hear. In other words, it's better to play only the things that you hear. So I hear that, so I play that, okay? But you can do tricks like it. Yeah, why don't I go 3 frets across, or why don't I go, or why don't I go, I mean, don't let the guitar play. You're the one that's supposed to be making the music. So it's better for you to play. Then to go.
I mean, it's something that you learned, like a scale or a run or a lick or something, because if you try that, it never fits anyway. Never fits. You're always off by some fraction of a second, and it's uncomfortable. And so nobody cares how fast you play. You have to communicate what you hear and feel, like a blues singer sings or something, you know. I mean, that's what it is. So it's better to play less notes, but only what you hear. That's why you should be able to hum or sing what you play. If you don't hum or sing what you play, you'll never be able to remember what you played. I have a little test about that, but there's no guitar player here with a guitar that I could test. So anyway, but I play substitute changes, passing changes, and but I play lines that I hear, the blues. I mean, I play what I hear. Thank you very much. 'Cause I wrote about 2 songs in my whole life. And this one I wrote about a week ago. It's very simple. It's not giant steps. Thank you. Thanks. Yeah.
Bob Magnusson and Joe Porcaro. All right, you guys.
I think I could have done 3 hours.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, and oh, thank you. And really try to explain things to the guy. There was not enough time to try to talk about it. But anyway, I like to talk anyway. That tells a difference, you know.
It was great. I thought that was really great.
Thanks.
All right, Dan. Have a picture.
Was he good? Did he pass?
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Hey, what do you say? Hey, how you doing? Hi. Hey, I have nothing wrong. I like guitar players, you know. Hey, Brock, thank you very much, huh? Oh, man. I'm sorry I was off.
Oh, man. You were great.
Nah.
But I look forward to December.
Me too.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Oh, I'm glad. Thank you. And we got plenty. We got plenty.
Oh, yeah, I hope so.
Hey, bye, guys. Mamma mia.
Come ahead.
Listen, you gotta practice. And you know what you gotta do? Learn to play songs.
There you go.
Can't get no girls playing scales. Put it in the pot. Thanks. Yeah. I'm in the park. Hey, Don, thanks for having me, huh? Say hello to Roger. Tell him it's too bad because I had a lot of chicks.
Okay,
That's it.
I see you guys. Thank you.